A missile streaks across the southern Lebanese sky. Its target, an Israeli drone. The ceasefire is on paper. The war is in the air. From the rubble of Lebanon, Hezbollah's new chief sends a message to his fighters and to Israel. We will turn the battlefield into hell. The talks are days away, the shooting hasn't stopped, and neither side is blinking. A surface-to-air missile streaked towards an Israeli drone over southern Lebanon on May 12th, the latest sign that a ceasefire in name is doing little to quiet the guns on the ground. The Israeli military said the missile failed to hit its target, and no damage or injuries were reported. Shortly after, the Israeli Air Force struck a suspect seen fleeing the launch site on a motorcycle. It was not the only incident that day. The IDF said Hezbollah also launched several explosive drones at Israeli troops operating in southern Lebanon. The Air Force shot down what it described as additional apparent Hezbollah drones in the same area.
A short time ago, as part of an Air Force assistance operation for the combat forces in southern Lebanon, a failed launch attempt of a small ground-to-air missile was carried out toward an aircraft. In an additional incident earlier today, the terrorist organization Hezbollah launched several explosive drones toward IDF forces operating in southern Lebanon. There are no injuries to our forces.
The flare-up came as Hezbollah's leader took to the airwaves with a pointed message ahead of a third round of Lebanon-Israel talks scheduled in Washington later this week. In a written statement broadcast on the group's Al-Manar television channel, Naim Qassem said his group's weapons were off the table entirely and that no outside party had any say in the matter.
Nobody outside Lebanon has anything to do with the weapons, the resistance. This is an internal Lebanese matter and not part of negotiations with the enemy.
Qassem addressed the statement directly to Hezbollah fighters, and his tone left little room for ambiguity about the group's intentions on the ground.
We will not surrender, and we will continue to defend Lebanon and its people, however long it takes and however great the sacrifices. We will not abandon the battlefield, and we will turn it into hell for Israel.
The remarks land at a delicate moment. A ceasefire is nominally in place, yet drone exchanges and airstrikes have continued with little pause. Washington is pressing both sides toward a negotiated arrangement, while Hezbollah is signaling, publicly and loudly, that its military posture is not up for discussion. Whether Beirut's negotiators can square that position with what Israel and the United States are demanding in the coming days remains the central question hanging over Thursday's talks. Plastic helmets, stuffed uniforms, and a drawn face where a soldier's should be. Images circulating on social media show Israeli forces in southern Lebanon deploying mannequins dressed in full military gear, propped in positions where real soldiers would otherwise sit. The tactic, intended to draw and waste Hezbollah drone strikes, tells its own story about where things stand on the ground. It is the kind of improvisation that emerges not from confidence, but from necessity. Troops operating inside Lebanon have described a drone threat they cannot reliably stop, against which the army has yet to field a consistent answer. One reservist master sergeant, identified only as H, on his 6th deployment since October 7th, put it plainly.
We have no clear answer to this threat, except to run to a shelter, hide and pray. We are facing open skies.
The fiber optic drones Hezbollah is using are guided by cable rather than radio signal, making electronic jamming useless against them. They are nearly silent on approach. Soldiers say they can barely hear them coming. With no issued solution, troops have turned to fishing nets, not supplied by the army, but bought with money raised through Instagram posts by company sergeants appealing to the Israeli public. The nets do not stop a drone. They push the point of impact just far enough that a soldier might survive with wounds rather than not survive at all. 3 soldiers were wounded in one such strike near Shlomi. Throughout the campaign in Lebanon, more than 100 soldiers have been wounded by explosive drones. Close to 20 have been killed, including Aiden Fuchs, Liam Ben Hamo, and Shefa Amr, resident Amer Hujirat.
As soldiers, we do not understand how the IDF can reach the capabilities of intercepting outside the atmosphere. But against AliExpress explosive drones, the army does not provide an answer. Soldiers are losing limbs in the best case and their lives in the worst case.
The IDF said it is taking the threat seriously, conducting accelerated trials of new technologies and distributing protective equipment to combat forces. A brigadier general has been appointed specifically to oversee the low-altitude drone threat. The mannequins for now remain part of the answer. How effective, only time will tell. Hezbollah is buying drones from the same websites as we shop on: AliExpress, Amazon. A few $100s, a credit card, and a delivery address. That is all it takes to build a weapon that is now killing Israeli soldiers in southern Lebanon. These are fiber optic drones, small, cheap, and nearly impossible to stop. The way they work is deceptively simple. A pilot sits somewhere safe, connected to the drone by a spool of optical fiber, sometimes 10 to 20 kilometers long. That wire is the key. Israel's jamming systems, the ones that have been so effective at knocking wireless drones out of the sky, do absolutely nothing here. There is no radio signal to scramble. The wire carries everything. Instructions go in, live camera footage comes out, and the drone keeps flying. Each one carries roughly 6 kilograms of explosives. On Thursday alone, 12 Israeli soldiers were wounded when a drone struck an armored personnel carrier near an artillery battery in the Shomra area. 2 soldiers have been killed this week. Engineering vehicle operator Amer Hujirat died the day before yesterday. Armored fighter Sergeant Aidan Fox was killed earlier. Dozens more have been wounded to varying degrees since Hezbollah entered full combat in early March. The IDF intercepts most drones. Dozens are launched every day, and the electronic warfare systems handle the bulk of them. But the fiber optic ones slip through, and when they do, the consequences are fatal. Israel has 3 defense giants: Rafael, Elbit, Israel, Aerospace Industries. And yet, the answer to a drone you can buy online for a few $100s has not come from any of them. It has come, haltingly and imperfectly, from a collection of startups working against a clock nobody set fast enough. Companies like Smart Shooter are fitting assault rifles with smart sights that can lock onto a drone mid-flight, calculate its path, and fire with precision. One of their sites was used to successfully intercept an explosive drone in Lebanon earlier this week. But there is a fundamental problem with this approach. By the time a soldier is shooting at a drone 100 to 200 meters away, there is almost no margin for error. Miss it, and you have seconds before it hits. Other companies are chasing different angles. Robotican's Goosehawk drones try to physically intercept incoming threats by dropping nets on them. The American company Fortem, backed by Lockheed Martin, is also being tested. A firm called Extend won a tender last year and has supplied around 5,000 interceptor units so far, though insiders say that number falls well short of what is needed. Another American company, Anduril, makes an interceptor that is considered effective but comes at roughly $50,000 per unit, which limits how widely it can be deployed. Then there is Or-Eitan, Israel's laser interception system. It was declared operational. It has barely been used. The Air Force has not fully absorbed it yet, and even once it is, its range covers only a few kilometers. which military analysts say makes it nearly useless against the specific threat of fiber optic drones attacking troops on the ground. Soldiers are maneuvering through Lebanese villages under skies they cannot fully control. And the drone hunting them was probably ordered online, arrived in a box, and cost less than a smartphone.